Hi, everyone. Ashley Mailloux and Mike Beer here with the Daily Racing Form. We're going to take a look at race number 6 this Saturday out at Tampa Bay Downs. It does kick off a pick 4 sequence there on their stakes-filled Saturday. It's the Minaret here for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upward at the 6 furlong distance on the main track. And Mike, we have a field of 8 here. Some really interesting types, such as the one Opus 42, making that first start of 2025 off the lengthy layoff. Nick Style has done nothing but good things so far in her career at the age of 5. And even the outside runner in here, Musia, who was a winner last time out, but has tried grade 2 competition in Kentucky.
Yeah, nothing wrong with Mucci on the outside. Has run some good races against good horses. Nick Style, who knows what the issues were early on with her, but when she does make it to the track, she's really, really good, and she's got a prep over this track, which I really like.
We'll take a look here at the Timeform U.S. pace projections for the Minaret, and nothing too out of the ordinary. Not a I can't even talk. Fast pace is projected or a slow one. But you can see the LP flags on the number 1 Opus 42. She will need some pace help potentially based on the fact that she's cutting back in distance from 1 mile and a 16th. But our Harper Rose and the 4 Nick Style, they have shown plenty of speed so far in their career.
Got to be at least a chance that this pace gets a little bit competitive early. I guess we'll see how they decide to play it. Our Harper Rose does have speed. Nick Style has speed and is going to want to be forward in here, even though she's handy. Mucci is on the outside. She's got speed and can certainly go up and push this pace a little bit. We'll see how it plays out.
The number 1 Opus 42 going to kick things off. We'll look at one of her performances. Now, she disappointed last time out in February of 2024 at Gulfstream, but prior to that, just over a year ago at Tampa, she ends up winning the Wayward last and does it quite nicely. She was able to get that mid-pack trip. And as you kind of see her here, a lot of horses are still in the action here in the late stages, and she will win by 3/4 of a length. Gets an 83 Beyer speed figure. This was a career best effort from her. And just curious to get your thoughts now that she's going to cut back and race off the lengthy layoff.
Yeah, I really like that race that we just watched there too. I guess there could be one argument that, listen, she's been away for a year just about, and so maybe they just bring her back going shorter because she needs one off the layoff before they stretch her out again. I personally, tell me how you feel about this. Isn't there at least some kind of a chance that she's just as good and maybe not better sprinting than she is going long?
I think so. I mean, I think the fact that you see how she broke her maiden at Tampa, pretty nice performance. Sure, the Beyer doesn't come back speedy, but she was right there in the thick of things, and she was much the best. And you saw her after that; she was able to win a stakes race there. So maybe the end game with her being older and the fact that she can go 2 turns, they'll use that. But I would agree with you. I think there's no issue with her cutting back. And I don't know if you read in anything into this, but she's been working steadily since early November, mid-October, and maybe she needed a little bit to get back into it, but I don't think that's a huge concern.
Yeah, and Delacour's really, really good off layoffs too. It's another thing that I, wanted to look up and formulator just to see. He's really good off of long layoffs. He tends to bring them back ready to go. I mean, it's not going to be easy for her to beat this field, I don't think, being away for a full year just about. But I think she's really good, and I think she's dangerous in here.
The number 2, Sing a Little Song. This one for Ian Wilkes. She disappointed last time out. She didn't seem to handle the muddy track there, but she had some problems from the get-go at that race at Churchill. And you go down 2 and 3 starts back. I think the quality that she was facing quite nice when you look at the fact that Benedetta had gone on to win races. I think most recently won the American Beauty at Oaklawn Park. She's faced some nice fillies and mares.
Yeah, just going to have to find a way to get faster. That's really all there is to it in here. They're stepping her up in class again for this. The only other stakes race you don't care about, it's 2 turns at Charlestown. So, who cares about that race? She's a sprinter. She's just, as things stand right now, Ashley, she's not fast enough to beat this field.
The number 3, our Harper Rose. She's fast. The question is, does she have the stamina to last? When you go back to those races, say a year ago at Gulfstream, she would look like a major threat here, but those last 3, the fact that the numbers have been horrible, I'm just going to say they've been really bad. She has just kind of hit a wall in several of those races in deep stretch. And there's been gaps off between them. I can't use her here.
I agree with you. I mean, I just don't like this horse. I never really liked her even early in her career when she did nothing but win. I think when she won the first 4 sprints of her career. I didn't even really like her that much then. Obviously, her recent form's a real concern, but there are layoffs. She has been running against really good horses. There are ways to like her in here for Safi Joseph, but I personally don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, price would be part of that factor too, right? If she was a great price on the board, maybe
Yeah.
considering some of those things, a great workout tab, the connections do well. Maybe there is some upside there. I just couldn't see it, and I don't think she'll be some huge lofty price in
Right.
here. The number 4, Nick Style. She's very intriguing to me. We'll take a look at one of her most recent efforts. She almost had a undefeated 6 for 6, but she did have a defeat. Now, this isn't one of them. This is a win. Really nice local performance. It was at Tampa, her first time here. It was at the 7/8 distance. Recently, she was entered in another race. They scratched her. I believe that one, if I'm not mistaken, was at Gulfstream, and I loved her in that spot. I think there's a lot of talent for this mare.
She's clearly very talented. She's fast early, but she's also very handy. If she doesn't make the lead, it's not an issue for her. We saw that in that replay that you just pulled up there, just sort of sitting in behind, getting through on the rail, won easily. It looked like a prep to me. Actually, only got an 85 buyer, but it looked like a prep. And I actually feel like dropping back to 6 is actually good for her. I don't know. To me, she's a clear horse to beat in here.
The number 5, Ruthless Rua here for Sam Walensky, was 4th last time out. Dazzling Blue exits that same race. And prior to that, she had a couple of wins. They were all on the road. I think that's probably the most impressive part of it, to win at Del Mar, then Gulfstream, then Churchill. Very good races. I just didn't love her performance last time out. I just thought she was just pretty even in the stretch.
Yeah, been a good claim for these connections for sure. Winning the first 3 starts off the claim. I'm with you on the those races are so hard to evaluate. Sometimes only a 4-horse field, and they just sort of all
Mhm.
raced in a really tight pack, and it was just kind of up for grabs through the stretch there. And Ruthless Rua just couldn't get there. Had to try to come up the inside late, and she just wasn't good enough. I didn't want to be too hard on her for it. That being said, I also don't think I really want to bet her off of anything that she was doing before that.
And I think when you look at her compared to the 6 here, Dazzling Blue was just narrowly defeated last time out behind Autumn Evening, just beaten by a head. Obviously, very talented. Her record shows that she was hot early, was able to rattle off 3 career victories. They put her in very tough spots when you look at who she faced. Vava, Alva Star, those sorts of horses. Do you have any concern, Mike, with the fact that she hasn't found the winner's circle in any of these races?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, 7 races in a row now where she's been either second or third without winning. And it's not like, I mean, yeah, you're right. She's faced some good horses, but she's been favored in 5 of those 7. She was odds on in 3 of them. Go back and watch that race we were just talking about, the 4-horse field there. And listen, I'm someone who thinks Autumn Evening, the horse that won that race, is actually pretty good. It is underrated for Pletcher. But Dazzling Blue, you got to win that race, man. You're sitting right on top of that pace, not going fast, and can't get by and then get out finished at the end. You have to win that race. Cox is going to step her up here. I'm not suggesting she can't win here, but I would never bet her.
And I wonder if kind of that performance that you mentioned last time out is the reason that the blinkers are going to go on for the first time. The number 7, Broken Hearts Bay, Paco Lopez teaming up with John Arnett here, one of the local runners. Obviously, this horse absolutely loves it at Tampa. Just second best last time out behind a horse by the name of Lunch, who, when you look at his resume, it's pretty good. Was third in the Sugar Swirl, was able to win the Any Limit. I think a respectable filly beat her. It's just the question of, does she kind of match up to the rest of this field?
Yeah, I'm a fan of Launch too, but this horse, yeah, she was second to her, but she was second by a mile. I don't know. She's another one who just there's not a race on paper that she's ever run that gives her a real chance in here, in my opinion.
The 8, Nucia, is going to round out the field here, a daughter of Matoli, who was able to win last time out after a little bit of a freshening. When you see she had about 2.5 months off. She is another one that has been in some tough spots. She's faced Emery, My Main Squeeze, Too Sharp, a next out winner. But what do you think her best case scenario is here with the outside draw? Is it being forwardly placed from the gate?
Yeah, I think they just got to come out of there running and try to get forward. They don't have to, make the lead with her. It's pretty clear from her PPs that she can sit off of horses. So I just think it's a great draw for her because she does have speed to get forward. And if they don't go fast in this race, she's just going to be able to sit on top of it and pull the right trip in this race. I like that she's second off the layoff after, again, a little bit of a prep race last time to get her tightened up. And now they step her back up in class. She's a really dangerous horse. She's pretty good.
And she'll get Sammy Camacho once again, who is always someone to watch there at Tampa Bay Downs in terms of the jockey colony. Top pick time here, though, in the Minaret. And I am not shocked at all. I mean, to me, the 2 horses on paper are Nick Style and Opus 42. And I think the one thing that we saw in that replay from Nick Style is I don't really know if she's been asked to this point in her career.
Yeah, I just think it's a great spot for her, and I ultimately didn't want to try to beat her. I just think she might be too good for these horses. I'm not way against Muccia on the outside. I think she's going to run well in this race, but I also like you. I feel like I wanted to give Opus 42 a little bit of a chance, maybe to get into the number at a price.
I'll be very curious to see what Opus 42 is on the morning line. I wonder if she'll be short or if she offers some value. She might be interesting in the exotics. 4186 for Mike, 4168 for me. Race number 6 this Saturday at Tampa. Good luck.